everyone, I'm Sarah, Childhood Finds. Today I am doing my weekly what sold video. Sales have been okay-ish, I guess you could say, this week. It was a week where I had really horrible days and really good days. But luckily it all balances out at the end of the week. That's why it's important not to focus on the day-to-day. But I did want to share, so I went sourcing this last weekend and it was pretty good. It was a pretty fruitful weekend. I was thinking about doing a haul video all on one of the type of items I got. So I got 3 30-gallon trash bags of plush stuffed animals, just your typical basic stuff. And I thought I might just do haul videos on each bag, and then I could talk about, why I picked it up and talk about brands, etc. I thought that might be useful for some people that either do sell plush or want to think about selling it. So if you're interested in a video like that, let me know. And what I would want to do is it might be a while before I do them because I want to list absolutely everything in the bag, or say if I'm going to donate it, so that everybody can get an even better idea of what things are worth, etc. Just as more of a niche haul video because I got so much, and yeah, it was a lot. I spent an hour and a half at the estate sale that I got them at. I worked out a deal with the company so that I could get a good, cost of goods with them. So I'm happy with that. And I got some other pretty nice stuff this week. So I've got lots of stuff that lists this week. And again, just keep pumping up for fourth quarter because we are now into September. But other than that, guys, let me know in the comments as always, either how your sales are or what your favorite sale was this week or your favorite item you found. And let's go ahead and get started. This first one I picked up, it's a John Deere trailer hitch plug cover, solid metal, fits those size receivers. It said that on the back. I picked this up at an estate sale. You guys all know those estate sales where they put estate sale in the description, but what they really mean is garage sale. But I got this at that, and it was $5, and I ended up selling it for full asking of $29.95. And it probably took a month or two to sell. This I picked up at an estate sale, and it's a brass woman bell, nun ? Medieval lady wearing wimple. So wimple is what the headdress was called, vintage, and it sold for I sold on a 10% off, I think. So I have a few of these sales that sold for 10% off. So it sold for around 32-ish. I'm not going to have remember the exact numbers for most of these sales, but I have a general idea. Around $30 to $32 is what it sold for on the offer, and paid $3 at the estate sale, so totally fine with that. I'd only found 1 or 2 others like this on WorthPoint. This has been listed for well over a year, and it sold on a 10% off offer as well, so around $130 for it. It's an Easton press. We are the change we seek, the speeches of Barack Obama. And I got this at an estate sale for $2, $1 to $2. And it just took a long time to sell, and I'm fine that this took over a year to sell because I was waiting for a good price on this because there's been very few available and sold. So I was waiting this one out because I got lots of lower offers, but I was fine just holding out. This is a Bergamot Brass Works 1977 Duck Goose embossed belt buckle. This sold for a best offer of $8. I think I paid $2 for this at a garage sale. I will typically pay $1 to $2 for most belt buckles I see, unless I already know they aren't very valuable. It's not a great profit, but I have another belt buckle here later that I only paid $1 for that sells for over $100. So that's why I kind of gamble if I don't know for sure. This one, I didn't know if it would be a $8, $10, $20, $30 one, but it ended up being an $8. So I made a profit. They're easy to ship and list. I take, I think, 3 photos. I take the front, the back, and then I do a measuring tape. And that's all I do for that. And then I put them with all the other belt buckles I have. And then this one is a Jiffy Frame 5x7 hardwood unused sunset designs. So this is for like those cross stitch kits you have, or that you'll see out there, those kind of vintagey cross stitch kits. And that's what these would go into. This sold for 10% off offer for around $19-ish. And it would have sold for full price if I hadn't have sent the offer on it, but I am sending a lot of 10% off offers just to get the ball rolling on things. And I picked up these at an estate sale for $2 together. This is a cute little brooch, super cute. It's a 1960s gold sheepdog signed R. Mandel pin brooch, chain fringe hair, Skye Terrier. And so I just have a whole bunch of descriptors in there, and I have 2 different dog breeds that it could be considered, and it sold for a best offer of $20. I paid a couple dollars for this at an estate sale. This is a Lego Duplo motorbike transporter octane car and trailer hitch. I used Google Lens to identify this. I picked this up at an estate sale for like 50 cents. It sold for a 10% off offer for about $8 and some pennies. It's fine. That's fine. This is Rodney the Reindeer, Hallmark 1976. I pretty much always pick up these guys if I find them and they're really cheap. If they're not really cheap, I don't. And there's a bunch of other ones. There's Rhonda, Randy. I know there's a couple other ones that you can get as well, but usually they sell for around this price if they're this size. And $12 is what I got for this. I've probably paid 50 cents to $1 because I'll never pay more than that for these guys. But you can also lot them up, and they will sell well that way as well. This I've had listed for quite a while. It's an Animal Alley Toys R Us Tiger Sitting Plush 21-inch cat kitty vintage stuffed animal. Sold for full asking of $60 though, so I am fine that it was larger and it took a while to sell. Probably at least a year and a half. Probably a year and a half at this point. But it sold for $60, and I think I only paid $3 or $4 for this at a thrift store. In Animal Alley, I don't know. Oh yeah, it said Toys R Us. Animal Alley was sold at Toys R Us. And this is an action frame made in Italy, stand-up easel back, 2.5 by 3.5 inch. This sold so fast that I probably could have got a few more dollars for it. I picked this up for $1 at a thrift store, I think. No. This one I got at an estate sale that was 95% overpriced by $1 million on everything. I found this for $1, and it sold for full asking of $15. I could have got a couple more dollars for this because this sold very fast. This is Boda Nova Japan Gourmet Pattern Stainless Flatware Salad Forks. 2 of them sold for best offer of $75. I picked these up in a Goodwill grab bag, and I sold the teaspoons, 3 teaspoons, the last video for $135. And I have another teaspoon that sold here in a little bit I'm showing you. So this is an amazing pattern. This is my belt buckle that sold for good money. It sold for best offer of $125. It's a Reno Rodeo 1989 belt buckle Nevada limited edition pewter tone. This I paid $1 for at a yard sale, and it was, I think it was 11 or almost 12 in during the day. So it'd been going for multiple hours, and this was still sitting there. I knew this belt buckle, though. I know that all the Reno Rodeo ones go for $100+ almost always, if you're willing to wait for the right buyer. So I knew that this would be valuable, and this is one of the earliest ones. So I think it's the 3rd. This is a limited edition. It was 40 of only 150, and I think it's the 3rd one. Yeah, something I would have to double check, but it absolutely is one of the earliest. So Reno Rodeo belt buckles, because that's where I'm from, I knew that they would be valuable. This is a brass handled razor and shaving brush set with holder stand, a 3-piece reed. It sold for $17 on my full asking price. I picked this up at an estate sale for $2. Not a huge profit, but it fit really nice and easily into a 777 box and easy to pack and ship, so totally fine with that profit on this one. And it sold relatively quick. This is a cast iron rabbit bunny shoe boot scraper, vintage style home decor. And I said vintage style because I don't believe, from looking at the bottom, that this is very, very old. Definitely not antique by any means. And it sold for full asking of $74.95. I got this at an estate sale where there was hundreds of bunny things, and this is one of the things I got. So probably $5 to $10 into this, because I kind of made a pile of bunny stuff, and I don't remember the exact price I paid per each one, but probably about 5 to 10 for this guy. And here is the Boda Nova teaspoon. So I actually went back to the Goodwill that I got the other ones at a week later and scoured all their bags to see if one had slipped into another bag, and there was one in another bag, of course. It is one frustrating thing I found at most of my Goodwills. When they bag up their flatware, I'm pretty sure they on purpose put each pattern separately into each bag. And what I mean is they'll take, oh look, all of these match, let's separate them into each bag, 4 of them per bag, so that you have to buy every single freaking bag if you actually want a set of them. It's very frustrating. But this one, I think I paid $4.99 for this bag, and I got a couple other, luckily it was with some decent other stuff I could list, so I probably have about $1 into this spoon, but it sold for $45 incredibly quickly. This is the Daily Ukulele. It is a leap year edition, 366 songs for better living. It sold for $22. This is one of those things that I got dozens of offers for $10, $12. I imagine it's one of those that maybe sells good on Amazon. I can always tell my books that are probably good Amazon seller books because I get so many low offers on them. And I'll either counter or ignore them. I don't care. I 99% of the time don't put a low offer amount on my items where it'll auto decline, because I've made a lot of sales off of low offers, because I'll just counter and we can go back and forth and I usually get a good buyer out of it. The only times I really don't entertain them is if they offer me like $1 or $2 on a $50 item. But this sold for $22. I picked this up at an estate sale for $1. Always look at the sheet music. I have found some good ones, and they're easy and a lot of people don't look at them. So it's been quite a while since I shared a pony. I still have a few ponies left from my bulk pony buy last year. And this is a My Little Pony Generation 3 Dress Up Blossom Forth. And it was a Toys R Us exclusive. And it sold for $17.95, my full asking price. And I paid 51 cents per pony in the bulk buy. And this is one of those ponies I probably sent out 30, 40, 50 plus offers, and it sold for full price. It just takes time. This set, I ended up accepting a best offer of $20 because they were soup spoons, and it's a Hardinger Kristen stainless Norway silverware, lot of 3, $20 I'm totally fine with. I have way less than $1 into this lot. But this is a really nice pattern. It's definitely a valuable pattern. And yes, I will be working on another flatware video. I will either get it out this week or the next week, but I'm hoping this week in a few days. This is a J.A. Hinkle's Earl Stainless Place Dinner Knives, a lot of 5, sold on a 10% off offer of 10 and some change. The dinner knives and soup spoons, I probably will do an inventory after a year or 2, and if I have the spoons and knives that are still sitting after, say, 2 years, I will get rid of them, because they don't sell for very much and they take forever to sell, and I don't want to just end up with 300 listings of knives and soup spoons. So I will probably periodically go through these and get rid of some, but I do sell them usually for $10 to $12. There are some more valuable ones, but not very many. Because knives, dinner knives especially, you always see those. Anytime I'm at a thrift store and they have flatware, there's always like 12 boxes of dinner knives and, 3 or 4 forks here and there. This is a Dancin' Lion Brooch Gold Brass Tone Pin, figural red rhinestone eyes. One thing to keep in mind, because I had a listing get taken down for this, don't put like ruby red eyes. You have to put, if you do, I think you have to put ruby colored glass or something. You can't, even though you're trying to just describe the coloring, they will still take down your listing and you need to fix it before they'll put it back up. Because I had another listing where I described it as ruby red glass eyes, I think, or something like that, and I just ended up getting rid of the ruby word. So ruby is one of those ones that they will check on, because they don't want you to falsely mislead people into thinking it's a precious stone. This sold for a best offer of $12, and I got this at a yard sale for 50 cents. This is one of those frames. I had well over 20 watchers, and I just was like, come on, someone buy this darn thing. And I got a bunch of low offers, but this finally sold for best offer of 25. I got it at a yard sale for $1, and it's a jeweled rhinestone enamel Ashley Manor floral 5x7 picture photo frame. This is a Gund 1976 Pink Baby Love Me Bunny Rattle Rabbit plush, and I got this at a yard sale, I think, for $1, and I pretty much pick up any Gund. I pick up a lot of Gund if it's really cheap, but I definitely pick up the Gund from the 70s and early 80s. Those I have found can be decent money, and some of them can be really good money. This one sold for best offer of $30, if I didn't say. This I picked up just recently at a thrift store, and I paid $2.50 for it. This is another one of those books where I got dozens of low offers on it, but that's fine. I do think it was probably a good Amazon book. But it's a Black's Law Dictionary, Special Deluxe, 5th edition, 1979, 10th reprint. And I should probably clarify what I mean by that. Some Amazon sellers that sell books will go and try to purchase items on eBay that they can make enough money on that it's worth it for them. So that's what I mean by that. So Amazon booksellers will come and try to offer lower prices so that they can get inventory as well. But this is one of those books that I knew was going to sell for full asking because of what it was. This is the second time I found Black's Law Dictionary this year, and I had been waiting to find it for a couple years, so I got lucky. And this one, if you find the regular 5th edition, it's not worth very much, I don't believe, but this special edition is. But $60 and $2.50 at the thrift. This is one of those items that I was pretty convinced would never ever sell after a while. It's been listed for years, and it's The Clan of the Cave Bear by Jean M. Ayul. Brilliance Audio, 14 cassettes sealed. This was funny because I remember looking this up in the thrift store a couple years ago, and the only one listed was a person listing this for $10,000 because, you know, $10,000. But I knew that was outrageous, and so I listed this at $22.95, and this is when I had free shipping. And it sold. I'm still gonna make some good money on it. I paid $1 for it at the thrift store a long time ago. This I also picked up at a thrift store for $1.99. It took a few months to sell, but it's a koala golf club head cover made in Australia. Plush animal, vintage with tag. Very cute little thing, but koalas are not a popular stuffed animal in any form. Golf club head covers, just regular stuffed animals, etc. Koalas are something I probably won't pick up very often anymore because they do take forever to sell, even though they're adorable. This is 4 international GG dinner forks and stainless deluxe Japan replacements. So why I put this number 2 here, because I did have some people asking me how I list my flatware. I don't put multi-quantity very often on my things because each piece tends to have different markings, scratchings, flaws, etc. And I just want the person to get exactly what's in the picture because it just adds extra protection. So I tend to not put multi-quantity, even though this set in particular, I think I had 3 or 4 sets of this 4 dinner forks. I just like to make separate listings. So how I identify that is I just put either a number 2, 3, 4, etc. into the title because that lets eBay know it's not a duplicate listing because they don't allow duplicate listings. And I also change, of course, the SKU in the custom SKU because it has a different number in my inventory system. But these sold for $21. I paid like $1 for this set at the thrift store. And that's all I have for you guys. It's a shorter what sold video, but I will be working on some more videos. Definitely want to try to get the flatware one out this week so that you have 2 of them then to check out. So thank you guys so much for joining me, and we'll see you on the next video.